Tae Ju wakes up. There are 3 children in front of him who were trying to wake him up. Tae Ju takes out the knife that he had kept for the driver. He comes to his car. But there is no bag there, the children were filming. He asks them where the scooter rider went. They tell him. Tae Ju comes to the same location. After looking around for a while, he notices that a fire is burning nearby. He goes closer and sees that his bag, the one containing the money, is burning inside it. Behind it is the roof of a hospital foundation building where the driver is standing. He calls Tae Ju, shouts, and says, "How dare you try to trick me?" Now we look at him carefully, and his name is revealed to be Mani. Tae Ju says, "Please forgive me. I had very little time, so I gave you fake money." Later, he remembers the past scene when he went to the bank and told them, "All right, give me 80 million won, and add the rest as fake currency." Mani says, "Now you have left me with no other option. I will cut your wife into pieces." Dong Chan is calling Tae Ju. Tae Ju says to Mani, "I can give you the money. My father-in-law is calling me. Please give me a little more time." Later, he remembers the past scene of how he met Se-yeon for the first time. It happens in the library, where Se-yeon is noticing him. We see many scenes here. Se-yeon even buys a drink for him. Both of them come outside. They are sitting and talking. She asks him, "Don't you have any friends? You do everything here alone. You study alone." Tae Ju says, "I feel comfortable being alone." But Se-yeon says, "It is also possible that you are doing all this just to make yourself feel comfortable." After that, she leaves. In the next scene, Tae Ju is once again in the library. But he notices that Se-yeon has not come. 2 or 3 days pass like this. Then we move to another scene where Tae Ju is walking with an umbrella. Just then, Se-yeon comes to him and says, "Can you share it with me?" Tae Ju asks, "Where were you all these days?" Se-yeon says, "What are you asking?" Tae Ju says, "I used to see you every day, and I got used to it." She asks him, "Were you worried about me?" He nods. Se-yeon says, "I had the flu, so I stayed at home. To be honest, I was thinking about you too. I was worried about you. I kept saying to myself at home that if I feel this lonely here, then how lonely must he be in the library? But now you won't be alone because I am with you." She says, "It is a little strange because we are meeting each other, but I don't know anything about you. Would you like to be my boyfriend?" He starts smiling. On the other side, we see Se-yeon. She wakes up and realizes that she is tied up and is in a completely different location. In the next scene, we see Tae Ju with Se-yeon's parents, showing them her photo. Her parents shout and say, "Who could do something like this? Did he send anything else?" Tae Ju remembers that before coming home, he had deleted his own video. He tells them that the kidnapper did not send anything else. Soo Kyung says that they will arrange the money. But Dong Chan also whispers something separately in her ear. Later, we see that they manage to arrange the money. Now Tae Ju is coming home with Dong Chan carrying the money. Tae Ju says, "I want to say something." Dong Chan says, "I know what you are going to say. My daughter got caught up in all this because of you. My daughter has no enemies. You must have dragged her into this." Tae Ju says nothing. Both of them arrive home. But Tae Ju sees that the police are already there. That means they had contacted them beforehand. A police officer named Do Sik is there, and he takes Tae Ju's statement. Tae Ju tells him everything. Tae Ju asks Se-yeon's parents, "Why did you do this? Why did you contact the police? I told you that if you do this, Se-yeon could be in even more danger." But they say, "We are not going to do everything the kidnapper tells us. She is our daughter. We have to save her." On the other side, we see Se-yeon trying to escape, but she cannot. She screams for help. But there is another girl in the next room who tells her to hide. Se-yeon asks, "Can you hear my voice? How long have you been here?" The girl starts telling her about herself. On the other side, we see the police making all the preparations. They tell Tae Ju, "Talk to him normally. He should not suspect that we are here." That is exactly what happens. Tae Ju waits for the call. A video call comes, and Tae Ju answers it. The police officers are nearby, trying to guide him. But they notice that the caller's location keeps changing. Mani asks Tae Ju, "Where are you?" Tae Ju tells him that Dong Chan and Se Yun's parents have arranged the money at home and that he can see it. But Mani becomes suspicious. He tells Tae Ju, "Turn on the back camera." The police officers are right there, hiding below. After Mani insists several times, Tae Ju turns it on and shows him that there is no one else there. But suddenly, a noise is heard because a police officer accidentally drops something. Mani asks, "What was that noise?" But Tae Ju says, "I didn't hear anything." Mani then tells him, "Go forward and show me what is there." Tae Ju starts walking. Mani tells him to point the camera downward. Tae Ju does exactly that. But then we see that Se Yun's parents are in the next room. Dong Chan comes out shouting and tells Tae Ju, "I will talk to him." He starts talking to Mani. But Mani does not want to talk to him and even calls him an old man. Then Soo Kyung takes the phone and says, "Please let my daughter go. Look, we have 3 billion won. All of it will be yours." After seeing the money, Mani says, "Will all of this really be mine?" She nods. Mani says, "All right. I will contact you soon." On the other side, we see Se Yun trying to look outside, but Mani arrives there in his car. Se Yun quietly sits down. Mani comes to her and says, "Your family is really nice, especially your mother. Come on, let's go meet your family." On the other side, Soo Kyung asks Tae Ju, "It's been an hour. Why hasn't he called yet?" Then another video call comes. Mani says, "Look, your daughter is fine." Se Yun starts talking to her parents. But then Mani comes from behind and starts choking her. He is about to kill her. Se Yun stops responding and becomes unconscious. Tae Ju shouts and says to Mani, "I won't let you go." But then he sees that Se Yun is still alive. Mani says to Tae Ju, "I told you not to tell anyone what I was doing, but you didn't listen. Why did you involve the police? Now I know there are 4 police officers at your house." Do Sik tells his colleague, "He is watching us. He must have a partner." Mani says, "I will kill your wife." Tae Ju says, "Please forgive me. It was my wife's parents who did this. I didn't know the police would get involved. Please give me one more chance." But Mani refuses and says that Tae Ju's wife will be killed very soon. The police repeatedly play the recording and realize that Mani had also said, "I did exactly what you told me to do. Why aren't you giving me my money?" Just then, a box arrives. The police come to Tae Ju and say, "You had your own wife kidnapped. You are under arrest." Tae Ju says, "What nonsense is this?" But then the police show him a video of him. Mani also publishes an article about Tae Ju, claiming that he hired someone to kill his own wife. Tae Ju tells the police, "This isn't true. Give me a chance to explain." But they take him away. Just then, Do Sik looks outside and notices a camera there. He realizes that this is how Mani has been watching them. Later, he removes the camera. Mani is also watching everything live. In the next scene, Tae Ju is at the police station. His statement is taken. He is asked, "Who is the kidnapper? And where is your wife? I know you are working with him." But Tae Ju denies everything and says, "Let me go. My wife is in danger." But they keep treating him as the suspect. In the next scene, Tae Ju goes into the restroom. Hansu receives a call and goes outside to answer it. The lights start flickering. Tae Ju comes to the door and tries to escape, but he cannot. He says to himself, "No one believes me. I have to save my wife." Just then, he sees a man standing behind him. His name is Soo Hyung. Tae Ju asks, "Who are you?" Soo Hyung says, "I am the person who knows that you are innocent. You did not have your wife kidnapped.